I wanted to get into one more thing actually before we go. Is
Sure.
I know that you joined the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra as assistant music director,
Yeah.
and pianist, which is incredible for the Elvis Presley "If I Can Dream" UK Arena tour,
Yeah.
and obviously Memphis Symphony Orchestra too. I mean, what was that like to work on such a big project like that?
Well, that was sort of an extension of the album that we made, really,
Yeah.
because the If I Can Dream album was a very successful album in the UK. I mean, it did well in other parts of the world, but in the UK, I think it was like the biggest selling album of 2015. I think it was, by a non-UK artist. I think we were, I think Coldplay beat us to it. So we were not, I think we were number 2 in the overall charts, but
Amazing.
but it was and also with that album, there was no precedent. It was the first time anything like this had been done on this scale with an artist that was so iconic. So it was recorded with Sony, and before we made the album, we had to go in, I think it was about a year earlier, and we did 3 demo tracks. I think we did Bridge Over Troubled Water, It's Now or Never, and Burning Love, I think it was. And Robin Smith, who is a very talented orchestrator and arranger, did these sort of very fast. I don't know if you ever heard sort of Louis Clark's arrangements for the Electric Light Orchestra, and what he did. And it was all this very fast semi-quaver passages for the violins, and and all this sort of adrenaline running through the arrangement. And he did this arrangement, and we had to have these 3, I suppose you could call them pilot tracks or demo tracks, to prove to Sony that this concept was going to work. And we then had Prescilla Presley's blessing as well, and Graceland's blessing.
I saw.
So we then went out to make the album. So when we finished the album, it did so well that Danny Batesh at Kennedy Street, who's a promoter in the UK, took it out on tour, and we did all the big arenas around the UK. We did Manchester, the O2, Cardiff, and all the sort of arenas, and we went out with the Royal Philharmonic Concert Orchestra.
Wow.
And at that stage, I don't think I wasn't the assistant musical director on that tour. I just played piano on that tour. But I suppose my role sort of grew as the tours went on. I think we've done now 7 tours, and Robin and I have done them all. We've done 2 tours in Europe, around Europe. We've done 3 in the UK, and we've done a couple in America as well.
Yeah.
And the American tour, which I think was about 3 or 4 years ago, was to mark the 40th anniversary of Elvis's death. And that was amazing, because that was in Memphis. That was at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, and oh my gosh, it was almost like a pilgrimage in terms of the fans. They came, and it was so emotional. The emotion coming off the audience was really quite amazing, and also very interesting to see in the States how his legacy has been remembered in different parts. So when you go to New York, or some of those more northern states, it's less, it's still amazing, but it's not as passionate, I would say, as when you go down south. But the 40th anniversary was amazing, and obviously having Prescilla on tour with us is incredible as well. And she's so lovely, and so inspiring about and talks about Elvis with such love, both out on and off the stage. It's not, there's no pretense, there's no act there. It's what you see is what you get from her. And she's just a lovely, pleasant energy to be around.
That's incredible. I know that your last performance was actually at Graceland. I mean, what was that like to perform there as well at the end?
Amazing. We did our rehearsals there as well.
Wow.
And that was where all the rehearsals took place. They've got this incredible function room. Well, it's not. It's more of a exhibition hall than a function room. It's great. Amazing to be there. And I sort of, on my day off, I became very much the Elvis tourist, and went round the house and went round the exhibits and everything. And Graceland was an amazing place to be, and the energy was really quite incredible. So
I can imagine. Was it like a very surreal feeling as well, walking around Graceland and the house as well, and even talk and just work with Prescilla as well? Was it like a very surreal feeling for you?
It was, and also because I'd done the record so closely before, it having had access to these multi-tracks and heard Elvis talking in the studio with his other musicians, things that you would never hear on a released recording, that made it, I felt very connected almost, because whenever I do a record, I want to know about the artist and what was their process, and how was that, how did they relay what they wanted to their musicians, and so that was very interesting for me. But yeah, I mean, just being around the memorabilia was incredible, and everyone that worked there was a wonderful guy there called Gary. I don't know if I don't think he works there anymore, but he was so helpful. A wonderful experience. They really, really looked after us and made us feel very welcome and at home,